Good morning everyone. As you can see, I'm joined by my mate Hambo.
Hello.
And we are doing the North Downs Way again. This is part 4, Merstham to Oxted. And that is an 8-mile section from the North Downs Way guidebook. We're filming in the car to begin with because the weather is pretty bad outside. It's on and off rain for pretty much most of the day. And I'm at the spot where I finished part 3 with Gary from Fusion Outdoor Adventure Seeker. That's it, I remembered it, yeah. And yes, we're heading to Oxted. We've parked Hambo's car at kind of the end point of this section. So logistically it's really easy. We just like park the cars and then just walk along the North Downs Way rather than having to walk to the North Downs Way. Anyway, we're going to try and wild camp. Not sure where yet, maybe sort of around the Caterham area. I've got my OEX Bush Pro Tarp and Bush Pro Bivvy. Hambo, what have you got?
I've got my Euro Hike DLX2, which I took to the group wild camp.
At Mersey, yeah, I remember that one now. So you'll have luxury. So we're going to get the rucksacks out of the car, get our walking boots on, and get walking. Crimes against fashion. Hambo with his trousers tucked in his socks. He's very kindly bought me a can of pussy. Oh,
Yum yum.
Oh. So we're going to drink these now to lighten the load a little bit, because Hambo's bought enough alcohol for like a small beach party. Cheers mate, to a good walk. Here we go, power up with pussy. So we've got the bags on our backs and we've just bumped into another bloke that was doing the North Downs Way. He's walking from, I think he said Reigate to Clackett Lane services. And yeah, we had a little conversation about lightweight gear. He had an Osprey Levity 45 rucksack, which are like ultra light rucksacks, and he had the same map as me. And yeah, seemed pretty cool dude. He was asking us where we were going. I think he thought we were doing the whole thing, judging by our rucksacks, and we went, "No, we're only doing 8 miles today, mate, but we're wild camping." It gets to a point where you just don't care, like telling people that you're wild camping. You just go, what are you going to do about it? So we're heading through this nice little bit of woodland and then kind of up onto the downs. You know what I'm going to say? Enough talking. Let's get walking! After passing Merstham's parish church and some desirable properties on the northern edge of the village, which we saw in part 3, a long steady climb leads back up to the ridge. Then it is easy level walking at over 650 feet or 200 metres for the next 2.5 miles, at first in high farmland as far as Warcoppice Road, where a very short diversion lets us see the Victorian folly known as the White Hill Tower. A long stretch in woodland follows, opening up briefly at the popular Caterham viewpoint. Park Ham is an area of species-rich chalk grassland that forms part of Quarry Hangers Site of Special Scientific Interest, managed by the Surrey Wildlife Trust. It is being maintained and enhanced by cutting back hawthorn scrub, periodic grazing by sheep, and hand pulling of ragwort, which is poisonous to horses and sheep. We forsake the Pilgrims Way on this section, as it has been almost completely subsumed into the M25 motorway. The sprawling Spaghetti Junction of the M23-M25 intersection is close at hand, but fortunately out of sight. Even so, we will have to put up with traffic noise for much of this section, as the M25 runs parallel, less than half a mile away. He said Willie. No sniggering at the back. White Hill Tower, also known as the Sight Tower, is a derelict folly built by Jeremiah Long, a local farmer, in 1862 as a memorial to his son who was killed at sea. One of the chain of Victorian forts referred to in part 3 is located on the hilltop a little to the southwest and was known as War Coppice Fault, hence the name of the road. We've just stopped for a couple of minutes just so Hambo can sort out his tent, which is falling off of the back of his rucksack. So I thought I'd mention this. These are really good map books, adventure series, the A to Z for walkers, and you get them for each long distance route. So yeah, I'll show you where we are. Let me see. So it's all clearly marked. Slow down, you dickhead. And we're going down this trackway here on our way towards the privately owned Pilgrim Fault, which you can't get in anymore. Okay, before you ask. So I think the Caterham viewpoint is sort of near here. So we're not far from there. So we have walked, I'll show you. That tower, that folly, that was here. So we have walked from around about here, Rockshaw Road. So my car is parked around there. We've walked up along here over the M25, or M23 actually rather, and then done that bit down to, yeah, roughly about here. So we've got to do all of this. Oh, it's auto focusing, and then we've got to do, that's it, we've then got to do all of this up to here to the car park on Botley Hill, which is part of, get it, Titsy Place. Once again, no sniggering at the back, okay? It actually says, look, Titsy Place, Titsy Park, Titsy Plantation, and then you've even got, look, Beaver Zoological Gardens. So we've got beavers, tits, and even Limpsfield. And we had Willie Farm. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, men never grow up. Always remain childish in some ways. So yeah, that's what we've got to do anyway. Thought I'd show you. Not the best description. Wind's picking up as well, comes and goes really, but we're walking down this little track, which is the North Downs Way, and Hambo's just come off the trail to sort out his rucksack. Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, and it still looks like it's hanging off precariously, his tent. So, and this is all wild garlic, so we won't have any vampires bothering us tonight, that's for sure. We're making really good time, and I believe we've come out to Caterham Viewpoint, which is where we're going to stop for some lunch, and then from this point onwards we head off that way along the ridge and we'll start looking for a place to camp. But guess what, it's only 2 o'clock, so we can afford to sit and have a really long lunch. But it's nice though, it's nice that there's this little area there is a road sort of just over there behind that bench. So, because I was tempted to try and wild camp here, you know, but probably not a good idea, is it really, if there's a road right beside it. Yeah, so we're making really good time. We'll be heading off over there in a bit. We're going to stop here, admire this amazing view, and have some lunch. Caterham Viewpoint is so named as it is a place where people from the nearby town of Caterham, and surely other places too, come to enjoy a picnic or contemplate the M25. It's gone 3 o'clock now and we've finished our lunch. We've not got a lot to do in the morning. We forecast a lot of rain in the morning and in the early hours of the morning, but that's not a problem. So yeah, we're going to be more relaxed with the walk-in today. You know, we'll probably sort of stop earlier, you know, and sort of find somewhere out of the way to pitch up, and it should be quite nice, that. So anyways, enough talking, let's get walking. Pilgrim Fall, also known as Fosterdown Fall, is another of the Victorian faults referred to in part 3. It lies hidden among trees up to the left as we leave Caterham Viewpoint, and cannot be seen or visited from the route, but it is very clearly shown on the map. After its abandonment by the military, Pilgrim Fault became a field study centre for school children, and has now been converted to residential use, but still remains a scheduled monument. Over to our left, through all the trees, would be the now private land that is Pilgrims Fault, which was one of the Victorian era faults built by the British government during the late 1800s, I believe, and it was part of the London Defence Scheme, and it was to counter a perceived French invasion which never actually happened. So it's part of like the mobilisation centres that were in like kind of like a ring around London, or the outskirts of London, you know, like the home counties, to protect it. Because of course, if you invaded the country from, say, like the Sussex or Kent coast, you'd make your way to London. If you took London, you would take the country, basically. That would be, you know, your power base. You take the capital city of a country, you know, they're screwed, basically. So that was the idea. Winders Hill leads past some old sandstone mines which are still being explored by the Wilden Cave and Mine Society. 2 types of the stone were found here: firestone, used as a building stone and in the manufacture of glass, and hearthstone, as the name suggests, commonly used as a slab in front of fireplaces. A part of the mines was subsequently used as a mushroom farm, and the Society occasionally offers guided tours of the mines. Godstone Vineyards were established in 1985 and occupy 50 acres of hillside. There is a wine shop and the garden room serves morning coffee, lunch and afternoon tea. It's just gone 5 o'clock now and we've come off of the footpath up sort of over the brow of like a small ridge, so we're out of sight of the footpath. I mean, we can see the footpath but we can't be seen from there. We've sort of tested it already and we've found probably 2 of the only flat spots on the side of this ridge, so it's a bit tight. We've started clearing some leaves already here, so I'm going to set my Tarp and Bivvy up there, and Hambo, he's got his Euro hike tent, so he's going to try and squeeze that in there. It's a semi-flat sort of bit of space. So yeah, we've had sort of some light showers as well, so the wind's died down, though we sort of seem to be fairly out of the wind here. We're just waiting for the rain to turn up really later on tonight, so we want to get everything set up now, be able to relax knowing that we're out of the rain, and then should be alright. But yeah, we've done another mile or so. As I say, we've not got a lot to do. It's an 8-mile section, so yeah, it's alright. It's probably not the best spot I've found so far on the North Downs way to Wild Camp, but it'll do. It's the next best thing. So anyways, we'll start getting set up. I'll bring you back shortly. So I've got my basic shape set up for the tarp. Just a standard A-frame tied between the 2 trees. That tree just in front of Hambo's tent, and then this tree here. So just one central ridge line of paracord, and then I use a guy line on each side just to sort of pull the sides of the tarp out so they don't it doesn't slide along the main line, then something like that anyway, and then just pegged out the sides. So I've got enough space under there. I reckon I can probably sit up under there fine. There's plenty of space to store stuff either side, and I can always sort of block one end of the A-frame tarp with my rucksack and stuff if it's particularly windy. The wind's coming through there, but I think it should be alright. I think the wind's actually blowing around into the side here, so you know, if need be, I can always sort of pull the sides out. It's a good thing about this Bush Pro tarp by OEX is loads of guy out points on it. Not sponsored by them again, I just like some of their stuff. This stuff's particularly good, but it's like all companies, they always do a couple of naff bits as well. But so far I'm quite happy with this tarp and the bivvy bag as well. It's a good combination. Anyways, I'm going to get all the stuff inside set up now, and then we should be good to go. It'll be time for something to eat and drink. We also, I'm just going to mention before I switch the camera off, we also did see a couple of walkers a few moments ago, and they didn't even look up, they didn't even notice us. So it just goes to show you we're above the brow of the hill. I think if we were making a lot of noise and stuff like that, then yeah, they'd spot us, but we were just stood here setting up our shelters and they walked past and didn't even notice us. So yeah, that's all good. Anyways, right, get the inside set up. Chat to you soon. It's gone 6 o'clock and I am set up underneath the tarp. Got the OEX Bush Pro bivvy out with me tonight. That's on a Tyvek ground sheet, a silver foam mat, and then inside the bivvy I've got my Go Light down sleeping bag, a silk sleeping bag liner, and my Climate sleeping mat, the like 4-season one, somewhere under here. Yeah, you can just about see it through there. Stuff sack pillow with sort of spare sleeping clothes, and I've got a little X-bed pillow just tucked under there as well. Keep that cinched up. I have got a bug head net with me as well, and then I'm just using bits and pieces really just to sort of block the wind a little bit. My stove of choice tonight, I was using my little Esbit titanium sort of contained cook stove. Used up the last of my Esbit tablets, and I'm now onto the BCB Fire Dragon gel fuel stove, and I use the Van Gogh green bioethanol gel. It's cheaper, you get more of it, lasts longer. It's my Exos 48 rucksack's in there. I'm probably going to have to put that underneath my feet, underneath the foot box of the bivvy bag, just because I'm sort of sloping down this way towards the camera a tiny bit, hence why I've angled the bivvy underneath the tarp. I've not sort of done it flush with the ridge line, which I wanted to do originally, but no can do. That was worse. I was sort of rolling to one side. And then I've got a rubbish bag I've started, some more water, and that's just some snacks and stuff left over from earlier. But on the menu tonight for dinner, it's all stuff from a British Army ration pack. I can't remember which number it is. It's one of the old boxes, 24 hour. So first off, in no particular order, I've got a cinnamon bun for dessert. That's going to be good. I love those things. My mate Matt, he's a massive fan of these. Hot chocolate mint flavour. That is going to be lovely, so I'm saving that for later, sort of before I go to sleep. A cola flavour drink powder, not my favourite, but I'll make it pretty strong in my little fold up mug and it should be okay. Shit tickets or bum wipes for the morning, the inevitable shit. Some stormproof matches, the really good spoons that come with the British Army ones, the ration packs, water purification tablets, and then for my main meal for dinner, sausage casserole. So it's got apparently vegetables 37%, potato, onion, carrot, peas, pork sausage 28%, pork 44%, water rusk. This looks awful. Yeah, that was a nice Bert from Hambo there. Oh, it's from Surrey. It's only from up the road as well, from Colston. I passed that on the way here. Brilliant. So if it's crap on my way home, I can drive past and sling it out the window at them and go, that was shit, sort it out. Anyway, wow, that's amazing. So I'm eating, you could say I'm eating local produce. This is food of Surrey, people. A sausage casserole from an army ration pack. It is, it's from Colston, Surrey. It's just up the road, I passed it. Amazing. Anyway, so yeah, that's dinner. I'm not going to have that till a little bit later on. Breakfast is somewhere in there, I'll show you that tomorrow morning, but yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So, we have a cider kindly given to me by Hambo, who sat under the tarp with me in a moment. He's had dinner, he's had vegetable korma and rice. I could smell it from his tent, it smelled pretty good. So, we've each got one of these Rosie's Pig Rhubarb ciders. Quite possibly one of the best ciders ever made. And let's crack this bad boy open. Oh. Cheers everyone to a good camp. So this is the first beer of the night that I brought with me, and it's a relatively new company called Jubal. So this is beer cut with elderflower, urban, 4%. I've had another one at home, Jubal beer cut with peach, and it's amazing. I need to buy another one so I can do a review for you, because I just wanted to drink one night and was like, oh, sod it, just drink it. But it's really good. So I'll read this to you. We're the beer pioneers, As we broke beyond southwest borders, we went to town on a fresh brew fit for the city, and this was our pick of the bunch. Urban is our fresh beer for a new frontier. In essence, light gold lager meets delicate elderflower, resulting in a floral complex that gives way to a subtle lager finish. Sustainability. The great outdoors is a thing of beauty. Damn right. To help keep it that way, we've taken the plunge to offset the carbon emissions from this and every jubal. So slides down dangerously easily. Enjoy responsibly. So let's give it a go. Oh, it's got an interesting smell to it. Cheers everyone. It's not bad. Yeah, it's definitely an elderflower taste. A nice lager taste. It's not actually, I mean that was the first sip, it's not actually that bitter. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean it's quite cold outside. It's about, well, it's 9 degrees, but it feels a bit cold than that with the wind. So it's a fairly chilled beer. I would give that 7.7 out of 10. So it's, yeah, a high end, slightly above average beer. It's not bad. I could probably drink another one again, but it's not as good as the peach one, so I need to buy another one for you and review that, because that was amazing. That was easily an 8 out of 10. But yeah, 7.7 for this one. They're not bad. If you can find them, get some. Oh yeah, I thought I'd also point out, I collected a load of logs that I'd found that had been cut up and just sort of left. They'd been there quite a while, it looked like, and you can sort of see a few in the back. That was a bit of a strongman workout, that was, and I sort of had to move all of these. I've made sort of a wall because the wind is mainly coming from this direction, so I've sort of blocked as much as I can of that side of the opening under the tarp, and it has made a difference. It feels less windy through here. It's just the top bit here, and I've rigged up the filming light. I put it underneath the ridge line, so it's nice and bright under here. Me and Hambo have just been sat under here shooting the breeze. He's also bought us a Navigator rhubarb gin and ginger ale. Navigator drinks are ideal for parties, picnics and barbecues, so we'll be trying that out as well at some point. I probably won't give it a rating, but that sounds pretty good though. It's got rhubarb in it. I don't mind a bit of gin every now and then, and ginger ale. That does sound quite tasty actually. And so that is what we're up to at the moment. Okay, the moment of truth has come. We've got the sausage casserole ready, and I've opened it up. The smell that greeted us was part rank, part sort of appetising. It was a bit like a vegetarian's fart, but it's got meat in it. I don't know really. It was a funny smell, wasn't it?
It was strong.
It was a bit of a slight nappy smell as well, I thought. I don't know. You know, when the nappy bins are overflowing at work, you're like, whoa. Anyway, probably shouldn't say that's damning, but look at the size of them sausages. They're fucking, you could choke a donkey on one of those. So we've got 2 of them in here, I think. Look, there's another one. It's not the same one. Yeah, I think it's just 2. And the bits of potato are pretty big as well. You can just about see them. And there's peas and carrots in it, so it's a nice hearty meal. It's quite runny, and you can see like the oily sort of residue on it, so this is probably definitely going to mess my guts up, this, but let's try it anyway. It's the first hot meal I've had today. Potatoes are pretty good, little bit sort of mushy. I think we've got to try these sausages. Apparently they are pork sausages. There we go. They're a bit kind of soft inside, but they do taste good. That's not bad actually. I'm sure you could get a better quality sausage casserole at home, but for a ration pack that's alright. Peas look decent. A little bit sort of dull colours, not really a vibrant green, but it's quite runny. I think there's gravy in it, but no, it's all good. I've had far worse main meals before. I'm cooking Hambo's sticky toffee pudding at the moment that he gave me. That should be ready any minute, and then we'll finish things off with the cinnamon bun and the hot chocolate before I go to sleep. That's not bad at all. It's about 10:15 now. So we've been sat under it for quite a while. It's very nice, this rhubarb gin and ginger ale. Was it ginger ale? Yeah. Lovely. And then Hambo's also bought me a present. I guess was this a birthday present?
Yeah, birthday present.
It's a belated birthday present, and we've been using this for our light source. It's one of those little Larry, like pen lights. It's got 3 modes on it. It's really bright. It's got a nice clip on it and stuff. So this could become, well, this will become my sort of interior light for when I'm in the tent and stuff. You know, just clip it to the top and it just acts like a brilliant little sort of like lantern almost. So we've got the main beam, slightly dimmer beam, and then if the shit hits the fan, help! Help, I'm gonna die. Alright, Matt. Anyway, yeah, no, cheers mate, that's a brilliant little light. I love it. So I've just clipped it to the ridge line, and that's throwing out a decent amount of light. I mean, this is the filming light at the moment. We've gone nuclear with that, full brightness, but I can turn it down, mood lighting, and then daylight. So, but yeah, that's it without it on, and that's our that's little Larry punching out some light there. Brilliant. That'll be really good in the tent. So I'll switch that back on. There we go. So yeah, all in all, I mean, we're probably spotted from the M25. There's probably like a bright light up on the hill. But still, I've got my sausage casserole. It's all good. It's 11:30 now, and we're both in our respective shelters. I've got in the bivvy bag. Hambo's in his Euro height tent, and you can hear the rain starting now. It's very light at the moment, but I'm sure it's gonna get heavier, and I think the wind is coming from that direction, so I'm glad I've put these logs up against it just to sort of block some of that. There's still a gap at the top, so I might get a few little bits of rain being blown in, but hopefully I can just sort of hunker down in the bivvy. I've got my rucksack in like the rubble sack that I put inside the bag. You know, it's like a dry bag. Put that in the rubble sack, and I put that underneath my feet just to sort of lift the foot box up a bit, so it doesn't feel like I'm going down a slope. And it is a bit better. It's still not great, but it's better than nothing. And we're planning to get up at around 7 AM because that's about now the sort of time it starts to get light. Really, it used to be sort of near at 8 o'clock, but it's getting lighter a little bit earlier now, which is good. But we're forecast rain and pretty bad wind for sort of from the early hours through most of the morning, it sounds like. So I'm going to be packing up under the tarp, it sounds like, and we're having breakfast under the tarp, and literally it'll be kind of like waterproofs on, get everything packed up under the tarp, get the tarp down, get moving really. So we'll see. But anyway, I should be really warm in this setup. I usually find I'm really warm in a bivvy bag. Wind's picking up a little bit. You can see the tarp moving around. Got my mint hot chocolate. The cinnamon bun was lovely, by the way. I warmed it up. That's amazing. It's just like the perfect temperature, so I'm gonna get drinking that. And the sausage casserole, by the way, that was really nice. Had sort of a little bit of like
sort of wind, little, not acid reflux, but sort of, I don't know, like I wanted to burp a lot after it, but it seems to be gone now. It's all right. It was a nice meal, that. I mean, overall the ration pack's been pretty good, really. This one, I've not didn't mind it too much. Yeah. So we'll see you at about 7 AM. If nothing happens, yeah, we'll sort of see how it goes really with the weather, wouldn't we? So yeah. Anyways, good night everyone. See you in the morning. Good morning everyone. It's just gone 7 AM. Just lit the stove. Slept okay actually last night. We sort of went to sleep around, probably around midnight I would have thought. So I've had a decent amount of sleep, and I mean there was a couple of times I sort of woke up, sort of like half woke up, and like, because the bivvy was sliding sort of down the slope a little bit, but having my feet up on the rucksack helped a lot, and you know I was still fairly comfy despite being on a slope, so it was alright, but you could just feel that I'd sort of slid into like a ball, but it was fine. I mean, inside this I was so toasty warm. Hambo says he slept really well for a change in camp because he put his hand warmers in his Arctic socks because he suffers with cold feet, and he said it literally sorted him right out, so that was quite good. We didn't have as much rain as we thought last night. It was sort of like light little showers every now and then, and I could feel a little bit of the spray coming through the gap at the top here, but this helps so much. It blocks a lot more of the wind, otherwise I'd have just been battered by that all night, because the wind for the last few hours has been pretty ferocious. We had some pretty bad winds last night, but the tarp though, the tarp held up, it did its job. It's lost a bit of its shape, but then tarp formations always do. When you set them up, you're meant to like sort of tighten them and stuff, you know, before you go to sleep and stuff. I couldn't be bothered, so it's held though, it's been fine, so I'm not complaining. I do not want to get out of this bivvy though, it's so warm in here. So I'm having breakfast in bed, and breakfast I will show you now. Breakfast is going to consist of an apple turnover. We've got some English breakfast tea. I've packed one of those energy gel things, blackcurrant flavour. Get them out of some cheap shop, I can't remember where. So it feels sticky in here. I hope nothing's leaked. It's a bit concerning. Fruit explosion, hopefully it's not that. And so it's like a mixed fruit puree, and this flavour is apple, mango and banana. They all taste the same anyway, so it makes almost no difference really what flavour you've got. There's some coffees in here, some coffee, and orange flavoured like beverage powder. I've got an apple one as well, like an isotonic one, like an energy drink somewhere. And then last but by no means least, a cranberry flavoured cereal bar. Both finished breakfast, and we've packed the majority of the stuff up in our shelters. We've literally just got to take the shelters down now, more or less, and it's about 8:20. We've not seen anyone so far down below us on the North Downs way, so we're hoping to keep it that way, get packed up and carry on with the walk. We've not got far left to walk, probably I would say 4 miles tops, but I reckon it's probably about 3 really. There is one sort of steep climb at the end up to, well, it's up to sort of Botley Hill, which is the highest point on the entire route actually, like the entire North Downs Way, at like 260 metres or 267 metres, and at the top is, no snigger at the back, Titsy Hill car park, and that's where Hambo's parked his car. So then pick up his car, drive back to Merstham, pick up my car, and off we go our separate ways. So apologies if there's any wind noise. I'm not using the microphone at the moment simply because I've had some audio issues with the phone camera. It blew over in the wind yesterday on top of the ridge, and it got some mud inside like the microphone port, and I think when I went to put the microphone jack in, it jammed some of the mud in, and I had to reset all the phone, and it was an absolute fucking ball ache. And like Hambo was like, just don't use the microphone, just film normally, just because you don't want to risk it. I'm due an upgrade anyway, so I'm probably going to have to get a new phone at some point, because this one, like, the screen's cracked, there's so many things wrong with it. I've literally run this phone into the ground, but then I have actually started and created an entire YouTube channel with this phone. That should be an advert for phones, is you could create a YouTube channel with it. Not just bringing people together like, oh, I haven't spoke to my cousin on the other side of the world for 5 years, and then we Skyped each other on our phones and it was so emotional, and all that shit they usually put in phone adverts. Mine's like, I built my fucking YouTube channel up from nothing, you know. I mean, it's not quite Hayes Outdoors or Ken Survival, but still, you know, I built a YouTube channel off my phone, okay? So that's what I'm saying, the power of phones, you know, you can do a lot with them. I've still not got the hang of like looking at that little camera there. I'm always looking over here anyway. Probably won't make the edit, but yeah, we're going to start getting packed up anyway, or packing all the shelters away. This tarp was brilliant. It somehow stayed up. I don't know how, in the winds last night. Anyway, it's probably about 8:30 now. Chat to you when we're walking. It's about 9 AM and we're all packed up. We're leaving absolutely no trace. We've got all of our rubbish with us. We've kicked the leaves back, and those logs that I found, well, I found them just over there in a similar looking pile, so I've basically moved the pile. So yeah, basically you would not know we were here. So we're heading down the ridge, and you can just see right there, centre of the screen, that's the North Downs Way. We're heading down there and then that way.
Mardin Park is the home of Woldingham School, which lies 0.8 miles to the north. It is one of the country's leading Roman Catholic schools for girls, established in 1946 by the Society of the Sacred Heart. A predecessor of the present building was the home of a succession of worthies, including Sir Robert Clayton, a Lord Mayor of London in the late 17th century. Part of the estate is farmland. The Woldingham Countryside Walk, another initiative of the Downlands project, comes up through Mardin Park to join the North Downs Way and shares its route to just past the end of this section. We must descend to cross the A22 as it passes through the Caterham Gap. Then the North Downs Way rises and falls twice to reach Chalkpit Lane at Oxted. One of the descents involves a flight of 102 steps, though someone has thoughtfully provided a seat on the way down so that you can rest your knees and enjoy the view. Oxted Quarry, also known as Oxted Chalk Pit, has been worked since the mid-19th century, but operations have increased following planning permission in 1947, granting quarrying rights until 2042. The site is also used for waste landfill. Heavy goods traffic generated by these operations is the cause of much local concern. Prior to a recent extension of the quarry, archaeologists found evidence of late Neolithic and Bronze Age settlement. Oxted Downs, owned and managed by the National Trust, is part of the Woldingham and Oxted Site of Special Scientific Interest. The management policy is to restore grassland through scrub control and the reintroduction of grazing. The Oxted Railway Tunnel lies directly below the North Downs Way. It was built in 1878 as part of the branch line from South Croydon to East Grinstead, where it now ends, but originally the line continued to Lewes. A 9-mile stretch of the line south of East Grinstead has been restored as the famous Bluebell Railway. So it's about 11:30 now, and we're doing alright for time. We've got this, what I believe to be our final bit before we get to Hambo's car, up near Botley Hill, just the highest point on the North Downs Way, 267 metres. I can't remember if I mentioned it earlier. Anyway, so it's not steep, but it's continuously steep, if that makes sense. It's, you know, it's sort of not the steepest thing we've climbed up, but it's just constant. So I think it's the final bit anyway, from what I could make out on the map. So we've probably done a little bit more than 8 miles, because we've actually started the next section, which is good because there was a ridiculously steep part right at the beginning of that section. So got that out of the way, and I can start from up on Botley Hill now next time when I come back here. Legs are feeling it a little bit, feet are fine, back is absolutely fine. This rucksack is so comfy. Absolutely loving it. I think Hambo's having a couple of problems with his, with the tent and the ground sheet strapped to the back. But anyways, with any luck I will bring you back when we're back at the cars. We're back in Hambo's car, and he's going to drop me off back at Merstham at the start of the route. I'm going to pick my car up and we're off. So that is the end of this video. It's been a good little trip. Cheers, Hambo, for joining me.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it's been cool.
We've had a really good time. Thank you very much for the presents as well.
That's all right.
Hambo always comes bearing gifts. And yeah, he gave me the late birthday present that was the little light, all that peanut butter as well. That's not a euphemism. He actually bought a load of protein peanut butter, and of course all the drinks as well, so that was really good. So yeah, cheers mate.
That's all right.
And of course cheers for doing the driving. this is so much easier when you've got someone else to sort of drive back and forth between, you know, the start and finish points of each section. So if you're thinking of doing a long distance route like this, I highly recommend doing that, really. So anyways, this is where I'll be starting part 5 from next time. So until then, thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, look after each other, stay safe, and always get out there and explore. Cheers, see you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.